Hey guys, think you have to spend big bucks or tons of time in the kitchen to make delicious food at home? Think again. When you use Every Plate, you get restaurant level deliciousness week after week with recipes like crispy buffalo ranch chicken and cheesy Mexican street corn hash.
What are you waiting for? Dig into these flavor-packed meals your household will love. New customers can enjoy this special offer of only $1.99 a meal. Go to everyplate.com/podcast and use code PRETEND199 to get started. Applied as a discount on first box, limited time only.
Here's the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Chad Daniels.
It's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in months, maybe over a year.
It's great to be here.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, what was it about today that you said, you know what?
You said, I'll tell you. You said, are you ready? And I go, yep. And I was not. I didn't have a name, so I just said mine.
I love it.
That's all it's to it.
Well,
I just did this to you. I just worked with somebody not that long ago that really loved to finish people's sentences.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I couldn't even tell them because I was enjoying it so much.
Which is so funny because that shit drives me nuts.
Because people were looking at me.
Yeah.
They'd go, you know, the person would finish the sentence and then people would look at me and be like, are you hearing this? I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, I sure am.
And I told you that is an ADHD thing, but it is one of those things where I'm sure there are lots of people out there who do it. Maybe they don't have ADHD.
Right.
But it is like a known characteristic, and it's something that I
used to do.
I'm kidding. I know. It's so funny. I used to catch myself doing it quite a bit, especially over the phone. And I've tried to train myself to not anymore. And I think I've gotten a lot better.
I think it could be also maybe there was an undiagnosed grandparent back in the day that did it, and it just all of a sudden it catches on to fit because that's a habit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of, from what I understand, like an impatience thing, that the second there's a hesitation or like a moment where somebody's pausing to think, the person just finishes the sentence for them because they think they know what it is.
I'm a big hurry the fuck up guy.
Uh-huh. But I don't feel like you do that with me.
I think I have. I think I've worked on it.
Yeah.
Because there are times where when we have talks.
You do it more during those times.
Because it takes you longer to load.
Yeah.
And that's how you do things. You like to think about things before you say them. Mm-hmm. I like to say things, and if I need to, go back with a corrections page, like New York Times. I'll be like, Robin and Oprah Winfrey are not having sex. Or Gail, whatever her name is. And so that's what I like to do and why I cannot have a firearm, because my thing is, right, it's like, shoot first, ask questions later. You hear that all the time. My brain works like that for conversations where I just go for it. But yeah, I think I've tried to calm it down a little bit. I think I think everything I'm doing to make myself better has definitely made myself dumber, which is fine.
I strongly disagree.
Well, you see the happiest people, they always say ignorance is bliss. Uh-huh. And so you see the happiest people who just go like, yeah, I don't know much. Only thing I know is I'm going to heaven. And you go, it's pretty good. I wish I had that. I wish I had what you had. But I question so many things that, sometimes I'm in a bad mood about it. But I do think that trying to be a better person has made me dumber.
No, explain that. That can't possibly be.
Well, I think so for sure. I mean, I will tell you back, 10 years ago when I was lying about stuff just to see if I could get away with it, because I was bored. I didn't have a lot going on.
So what does that mean? That you
I would lie on a plane, or like, what do you do for a living? And be like, well, here we go. Let's see if we can do this.
And you'd just go as long as you could?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My go-to was that I was going to a convention. Have I told you this before?
I don't think so.
To a firefighter convention. Okay. Because I studied meteorology. And I normally could say it the first time. So they believe me.
The meteorologist part sounds familiar, but firefighters can mention.
Because then I would go there and teach them how wind patterns can change and how to look for those. So when a forest fire is consuming an entire acreage, how to look for what's going to happen with the winds to shift. So I would go there and I would speak on that.
Wonder if you guys could see the moment in my eyes when I went, oh my God, that's so scary that you're capable.
I'm dating a psychopath. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, I just, you get so bored and it's like, I wasn't yelling at people then. I wasn't, because I was too busy trying to figure out how to say meteorology correctly. And so that was very fun. But then I will tell you that all of that, like using your brain and having to be fast processing like that, I do think it made me smarter. I think that because of that, the rest of my brain was growing.
For evil.
No. I mean,
not for evil. That's the wrong thing to say. But
evil was causing it. but I would say like, it's like if you're egging houses,
sure,
and which is evil, right? You don't want that. And then one day you wake up and you go, God damn, my rotator cuff is strong as shit. And you go, oh, that's from that. So I think that's where
it is.
I just felt smarter. I felt like I was having to make connections so fast that I'll tell you this, boy, do I love this way better.
Good.
Yep. But it's turned me into, sometimes a curmudgeon where people go, what do you do for a living? And I just stare at them and put my headphones on because I don't want to talk about it.
Have you always been like a cranky man?
No, comedy has ruined not only comedy for me, but some other things too. I don't want to talk about comedy with a stranger forever because then they're going to go, well, I love so-and-so. And then I'm going to be like, I'd like to fucking choke you out on this airplane. Tell me you're dumb without telling me you're dumb. So that, I just, or they go, well, I'll have to look you up. And you go, I heard you say, gosh darn it, please don't look me up. Because I say stuff like, God damn it. Because those aren't my rules. Yeah. So I don't want you to see that and then go, well, did you know I was with a man in the sky that the Lord would have crashed the plane to kill him? I don't want that being your table talk.
Yeah. So you just keep to yourself.
I do. I try to keep to myself a little bit, keep my head down, unless, of course, some butt fuckery happens. And then I like to chime in a little bit. Yeah, and then the great thing about that is, once that happens, nobody ever, and this is from the time I've been doing it, has turned and said, what do you do for a living?
Because they already know that you kill people.
Because they already put their headphones on. They're like, I'm going to beat you to this, okay? Because you suck. But I think I've gotten better in all aspects, just dumber. Just a little bit dumber, a little bit slower. But otherwise, I think I'm a better person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would argue that you haven't gotten dumber or slower. I think you are trying to exercise your calm abilities. Your ability to just like take a breath and not have a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
And one may argue that makes you smarter because you're having to work those muscles.
I would say people that do that are dumb.
You are just going to die on this hill.
I'm not. I mean, I'm just
I know you're just
being goofy. But.
Yeah. We talked today because we went and saw the chiropractor.
Yep.
And you've been having a tough time with this chiropractor, like that it hasn't been going the way you wanted it to. You haven't been feeling very good.
Right.
And you told me that when I'm around and we're in public and that you want to say something to somebody that you're not happy with, that you feel like you can't be yourself because you would like to say things in a maybe more aggressive way.
Correct.
But you're trying to make sure that I'm not uncomfortable or embarrassed.
That is right. Now, I'm not re-recording this podcast. I have sat down and we have started, and I'm 5 stories into this thing. So I just want you to know, are you ready to talk about this?
I didn't think it was anything.
Okay, I didn't either. I just, again, I am not interested in shutting this fucking thing off.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about because I didn't think there was anything.
Listen.
I know, you're just being careful.
Crossing all my T's, dotting all my lowercase j's. You know that movie?
I don't.
It's Wayne's World 2, because the guy had a glass eye, and Wayne didn't want to say I in front of him, so he said, dot all my lowercase j's. You know what Wayne also said? As if, but that's a... Oh, no! Tag team, back again! All right. So we were talking.
Oh, my God. You just
and
can't fucking help yourself.
And I said...
You're such a fucker.
I feel so smart right now. I said...
I hope it's worth it.
I said
a
that
bunch
you're
of
right.
new wave of emails are coming in.
That I don't... Listen, if you think I'm a dick, okay. I don't know what else to tell you about that. That's just all that's to it. I mean... Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. Boy, I had a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. Get out, get out. Got swimmer's ear of thoughts. So I did say that to you. I said that sometimes I don't feel comfortable because what I wanted to do was a couple times ago when I had been in pain for 10 straight days, I wanted to tell the guy, hey, listen, like I wanted to use some man-to-man stuff. By the way, I want to be very clear about something. This gentleman, fantastic. Because, I mean, even before fantastic, like always got a smile, always seems in a good mood, whatever, family dude. I like him. Today I went in, told him my concerns, told him before, because he goes, go ahead and lay down. And I go, before we do, I got to talk to you about something. All right, I need to chat or whatever I said. And then I told him all my concerns, and then he listened and then suggested some options. And so even afterwards, I said, I really appreciate you listening to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess I don't know why I brought this up or what we're talking about that made me bring this up.
Well, may I guess?
Yeah.
You, because I work on myself.
Oh, right.
And I'm dumber because of it. And I told you that sometimes I want to be aggressive, but I'm not. Like, there are a countless number of times I've seen dipshittery happening.
Right.
And haven't even told you about it and just put my head down. Because I know that most likely it's not worth it. I'm going to get a kick out of it. I'm going to go home and, I can do what dummies like me do. Go like, well, I bet they learned a lesson. And then, of course, they have not. But I've done that. So we talked about this. I worded that incorrectly before the first time I said it. Because the thing is, I'm trying to be a better partner in public. Well, I mean, everywhere, but...
Where people can judge me. I'm trying to be better behind closed doors.
I mean, I still hit you, but... not in public. I don't want people to see that because then that makes you uncomfortable and them uncomfortable.
Right. And that's not what we want.
No.
Just me.
I keep it here. Mostly the ribs through a phone book like they did in old school detective movies so it doesn't bruise.
That's so horrifying.
I know. Oh my God. Punching a phone book? You know how bad that would hurt?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought it up because I was saying that I think there's good that came from that today because you did talk to him so nicely and calmly, but like said your feelings and it was such a positive response back.
Right. I mean, before I even left, I asked you, I was like, do you think this approach would work? Or are they going to receive it this way? Because I was using words that could have made them receive it a certain way.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I don't know. And then that's when I was like, God, I can't fucking bap, 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 bap. And then I have my little spaz, my little bottle rocket, and that pops. And then I'm done. Everything falls to the earth again. And I'm fine. And then we went there and it did work. And then when we left, you said, you know what? I'm proud of you. And it reminded me of a child. It reminded me of a parent saying to a child, you know what? I can't believe you just did that on your own. Did you put your pajamas on all by yourself?
Did you use the potty all by yourself? Did you use the big girl potty?
Did you use the big girl potty all by yourself? I'm so proud of you. And that's what it felt like. I'm 50 and learning how to talk to people. Welcome to Pretend Problems.
Figuring it all out.
Yeah, just in time. Just in time. Can't wait to... Oh, God, I'm going to have some really good conversations on my deathbed. Figuring it out, you guys. Learning how to talk to other people. I speak for a living, by the way. Listen, this is going to sound a little much, but I'm just going to say I have a lake cabin and a boat and all the accoutrement you need at a lake cabin. I have a very nice home. I have just everything, every physical thing I could need from my career. Mm-hmm. And my career is talking to people. And it has been a real journey finding out that I don't know how to talk to people. I feel like I do. I feel like I do a nice job of it. But it's nice to find out that I've been fucking wrong this entire time. I'm so glad.
Oh boy, I'm afraid to say anything in response to that.
Why are you afraid? Say it. We're having fun. We're giggling. We're laughing.
Okay, all right.
Afraid? Now everyone's going to think I do hit you at home.
Yeah. Well. When in reality, I actually hit you all the time.
Yeah.
You've never touched me once.
A lot of assault up in this bitch. A lot of slapping and hitting. Yep.
It's playful.
Yeah.
I have bird bones.
Okay.
It can't hurt, I would assume.
I do remember one time you hit me and it did hurt your hand, and that made me feel fucking great. I'm holding on to that. Because in 10 years, you're going to go, oh, wow, what happened to your shoulders? They've gone away. And I'll be like, yeah, but remember when you punched it and almost broke your hand? Huh? How about that?
My weird cyst in my wrist.
Cyst in my wrist.
Do you think that the book you're going to put out one day is going to be called Figuring It Out and the picture is going to be your tombstone? That's how long it's going to take you.
Wow, Chad really fixed his relationships. Well, how did he do that? He died. He's dead. He's dead.
He's
dead. 4 people cried at the funeral. Unbelievable. He will be missed by 4 people. Other people are like, well, we're at least we can park where we want now in front of the Whole Foods. I brought that up in Phoenix. By the way, I got to say, Tempe Improv, thank you for coming out. That was really fun. Those crowds were lights out. I got to see my friend Stan Chen for the first time in so long. Mm-hmm. And I walked in and I go, what the fuck are you doing here? And he goes, you remember me? And I was like, you think that's how I greet people that I don't know?
Yeah.
I just walked like I thought you were a thief. What the fuck are you doing here? No. Of course I remember you, Stan.
Yeah.
I mean, such a funny dude, pilot for FedEx, goes all over the place, but does stand up and is so fucking funny. It's unbelievable. And then Corey Michaelis was there and also just crushed. Just put the hammer down every show.
That's
and
awesome.
We ended up golfing a lot at some very, very nice courses. Oh my goodness. So great time, but thank you for coming out to Tempe, and thanks to the morning radio show there that had me on. That was awesome.
Hell yeah. I'm so happy for you.
Me too.
Sounded like a great week overall.
Well, you had a great week too.
I did. I was in Texas. I was in Houston and then Dallas. And I also have to say, not to just steal what you're saying, but fantastic shows. Truly had such a great run. Thank you to everybody who came out. As always, I love getting to meet you guys in the merch line. Like those of you who listen, it's just the best. It was like, I don't really feel like I have stories. I'm going to put some clips out. So if you follow me online at Kelsey Cook Comedy, there were some fun crowd work things that came from that. So we'll put something out soon. Maybe it's already out by the time this episode comes out. And by the time this episode comes out, my specials hit 600,000 views on YouTube. Yay! Please go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely go watch it.
And I think that's about it. I don't have anything too new and noteworthy. Having trouble finding a trivia card?
Yeah, I think it's all stuff I've read. I don't know how it's being put in there. Okay, here we go. All right.
Okay. Let's do our tour dates real quick.
Surely. Yeah.
So, I'm going to be in Milwaukee April 1st through 3rd. And then Chad and I have our 3 dates together. It's April 10th in Huntington, New York. I think I've been saying Long Island, and I'm not sure that that's the same thing. I know for sure Huntington, New York at the Paramount Theater. April 11th, Montclair, New Jersey at the Wellmont Theater. And then April 12th, Parks Casino in Philly. And then I go to Tacoma, Portland, Atlanta, San Antonio, Cincinnati, Columbus, Pittsburgh, San Diego. Yeah, a lot coming up. And then I'm going to announce fall dates soon. So kelseycook.com for tour dates.
Love it. Again, Huntington, New York, Montclair, New Jersey, Philly with you. Mm-hmm. And then I've been going, I can't remember where else I am in April. It's because I'm nowhere. That's why.
Oh, that's so nice.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, May 2nd and 3rd. Cleveland at Hilarities, May 8th. Cincinnati Go Bananas, May 9 and 10. Irvine, California, 16, 17. Pittsburgh, PA, June 21. Waukegan, Illinois at the casino there. Just 2 shows one night, April 2nd. Or excuse me, August 2nd. There we go. Make sure. August 2nd in Waukegan, Illinois. And then I also have a bunch of dates that are not on sale yet. I don't think the Waukegan one is either, but if you want to come check it out, please do. Think you have to spend big bucks or tons of time in the kitchen to make delicious food at home? Think again. You can use every plate. These things are incredible. First of all, the restaurant quality.
They're so good.
Secondly, they send you the recipe card.
Yes.
So even when you're done making it from them, you can remake it. Yes. And they send you only the portions you need. That's the big thing for me. Mm-hmm. There's no throwing away extra stuff. You know, we're on the road, so we come home and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we forgot to eat all of these blueberries or whatever it is.
Right.
And they only send you what you're going to eat. So you're going to spend less on these flavor-packed homemade meals than you would on your normal groceries or at a restaurant. Cooking the same thing over and over, well, up your dinner game in 30 minutes or less with Every Plate's clear, easy to follow recipes.
Yes. So what are you waiting for? Dig into these flavor-packed meals your household will love. New customers can enjoy this special offer of only $1.99 a meal. Go to everyplate.com/podcast and use code PRETEND199 to get started. Applied as discount on first box, limited time only. Now back to the show. All right.
Ready?
Yes. Chad and I are going to do trivia. And also, I'm just going to throw this out there. Do you guys even like when we do this?
Trivia?
Like, yeah. Or is there a different... We've played around with different middle segments. We were trying to do something that was more like competition focused. We thought that would be fun. I know we used to do the We're Not Really Strangers cards and just like ask each other more like fun philosophical questions. If there's something you guys would like to see us do in the middle segment, we're open to ideas. We want to give you guys what you want. I don't know if it's fun for you to do the trivia questions along with us.
I would love to have someone come in here and give us some sort of puzzle game that we have to figure out either together or individually.
Oh, yeah. That'd be very fun.
I would love that, but who do we get to do it? I mean, Justin's not going to do it.
I don't know.
And that's no dig on Justin. I dig on him enough in the other show, but this is all we've asked him to do is produce from afar. So
yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to think about it.
Okay. Would you like to go first?
Sure. What action movie franchise originally starred Paul Walker and Vin Diesel?
Fast and Furious.
That is correct.
Thank you. What was the go-to dessert for the Golden Girls to discuss things around the table?
Oh, apple pie.
That's a good guess. Cheesecake.
Yeah, that's what came to my head first, and I was like, those bitches can't have dairy. They're fucking 100. Even though they were actually like in their 60s. But
yeah.
FUBU was the brand name of the massively popular baggy jeans in the late 90s and early 2000s. What does FUBU mean?
For us, by us?
That is correct.
Yes. Oh, this is tough. What was the nickname of the National Geographic photo which depicted Pashtun orphan in 1985 that became their most famous cover?
The nickname of the picture?
Yeah.
Alone.
Afghan Girl.
Yep.
Everybody can picture what that is, but I would not know the name of it.
Nelly was the first breakout artist for this Missouri hip-hop group.
St. Louis. Fuck. This is going to bother me. As soon as you say it, I'll know. St. Louis Boys. I don't know.
Saint Lunatics.
Shit.
Yeah.
What artist received the first MTV Best Female Video Award in 1984 for Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
Cyndi Lauper.
That is correct.
What natural disaster killed 230,000 people in Southeast Asia on December 26th in 2004?
What natural disaster?
Yes.
2004. A tsunami?
That is correct.
Okay. In Guyana? Do you know?
Here's what sucks. A lot of my questions, we're struggling to even pronounce the words. So what the fuck is going on here?
In Guyana, South America, what tragic event occurred in 1978?
Read it again one more time.
Yeah. In Guyana, South America, what tragic event occurred in 1978?
An earthquake.
No, this is Reverend Jim Jones led over 900 people in a massive suicide.
Sure. South America.
I know. I thought, what's the one? Was it in Texas?
Well,
I think that was later.
That was later. But we need to look this up. Can we do this on the show?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
This is the Kool-Aid.
Spell the name of the country.
Gyana.
G-Y.
Oh, Gya. Wow. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Guyana. Is that a form of dyslexia? Probably not.
God, it's so fucking weird. I didn't think that's where it happened.
I didn't either.
Anyways.
I've seen a documentary on it, but...
By the way, what happened in Guyana in 1978 to this? What did YOLO mean?
You also have an easy one
Oh,
coming.
the fuck. Every one of these is ridiculous.
You only live once.
That's right.
What was the meaning of the question, what's the skinny?
Like, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Yeah. What's the story or gossip?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I wouldn't give myself credit for that. Because what's the skinny? It's like you're looking for news.
Oh.
But it could be, whatever. Doesn't matter. I lost. Handedly. I lost. Well, what happened?
Well, I feel like lately sometimes when we do this or Trivial Pursuit, like...
everybody. Pursuit, trivia alert.
Like...
Trivia alert. I'm doing something wrong during trivia.
I can't know that I can't control the easy... Like, we have different decks, and I can't control the difficulty level of the cards.
Oh, I understand that. I'm not saying this is your fault. I'm saying, what silly fucking questions.
Oh, okay.
What does FUBU mean? What does YOLO mean? What happened in Guyana? Those are different. Those are on different levels.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. Guys, I don't know where we made that edit. Chad and I just had an actual relationship conversation.
Epic
even though
conversation.
Literally just after that episode where we argued, said, like, if we start to get into something, let's cut and we'll do it. But we like prefaced it with each other with like, maybe this all is going to get cut out.
Yep.
And then we just had our conversation. So we'll listen to it back and
Justin
decide.
is about to know a bunch of shit about us. And that he already knows for sure.
Knows. Yeah.
But maybe, just maybe, we'll put it on the Patreon.
Put it on Patreon because we just...
It was probably 40 minutes.
It just went for so long.
And so we might put it on Patreon. We're going to re-listen to it. But if we do put it on Patreon and you're sensitive to the... again, I don't think this was a fight.
No, this was
a conversation.
This was way less of a fight than... This one really wasn't. This wasn't a discussion.
Yeah.
This was a discussion. And
so, but if you're sensitive to those kinds of things, then just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Or if you're a fucking psychopath and you're not on Patreon yet, this one you might like.
God. Okay. Patreon.com/pretendproblems.
I'm ready. Let's fucking do this.
Okay, we're going to read some questions. If you have not written in yet, it's pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com.
It's true.
Write to us. Okay. This is titled, Did I See You? And Looking for Advice. They say, Hi, Kelsey and Chad. I've been kicking around the idea of writing in since I fell in love with your Pretend Problems podcast, but just hadn't found the right topic. On Friday, and this was like this past Friday, my husband and I went to the Sklar Brothers at Acme, and I was 87.45% positive Chad was enjoying the show 2 rows ahead of us. Needless to say, I did not approach him or Chad's doppelganger, but curiosity got the best of me. What is the Chad Daniels I saw? If yes, he is as handsome as you say, Kelsey.
Bummer. Not me. That sucks.
You guys can see it. This isn't just an audio show. He's all over the internet and Netflix.
Nah, that sucks. That's a bummer that wasn't me. I was there. And boy, speaking of finishing each other's sentences, the Sklar brothers are the masters.
Yes, they are. God, they're so
God
funny.
damn it, they're funny.
I love them so much. They're just the best. That's so funny. Chad was in Tempe. But you have a Minneapolis doppelganger. I feel like it wouldn't be hard.
An extra handsome one.
You're like, I feel like Minnesota men with beard, mustache. It's like you're all just trying to survive the elements.
Yeah, that's true. That's very nice, though, that you thought it could be me being handsome.
The most handsome.
But it couldn't.
On an unrelated note, there is a family dynamic topic I'd love to hear your thoughts on. I married into a wonderful Catholic family. Catholicism isn't my style for many reasons, but that's not what I'm here about. Anywho, like any good Catholic family, each of my in-laws chose to have many children. Mm-hmm. Personally, I grew up in a small family and have one older sibling. My parents made it a point to not pick favorites and went out of their way to make us feel loved equally. Because of how I was raised, I have always been sensitive to observing friends' children having the firstborn golden child vibe. Now back to my in-laws. I can imagine it would be difficult, if not impossible, to make 4+ children feel loved equally, but I have observed multiple, in all caps, occasions where the golden child, who is 18 years old, is doted on, and the second, who's 16, third is 13, fourth, 9 years old, born is, well, just there. It's almost like the parents go out of their way to make the firstborn feel special and the others just exist. It absolutely breaks my heart because I can see the younger kids noticing it. I've yet to say anything, but the longer I'm around it, the harder it is to keep to myself. I know it's not my place, but I feel the need to speak up to help protect the younger siblings or at least help them feel seen. Chad, is this something that was on your mind while you were raising your 2 children? Have you observed this dynamic? Should I say anything or continue biting my tongue? If I say something, how would you recommend broaching the topic? Thanks in advance. If you choose to read my email on your pod, please don't use my name. You can call me MD. MD, thank you. And then they say, I am getting caught up on your pods and heard Chad was in Tempe for shows last week, and my apologies for not doing my homework first. MD, thank you for writing in. This is a very, very thoughtful, cool email because we've never had anything quite like this. I don't want to say cool. It's not the right word. It's obviously a very sad situation that you're witnessing
cool
this.
That 3 kids are probably going to sleep crying every night.
I chose the wrong word.
Why not? First of all, thank you for thinking it could be handsome. Secondly, I think that you should not say anything. This is fucking crazy that I'm talking like this.
Yeah.
But I think what you could do is just be the incredible aunt that I'm sure you already are, but equally. Because the kids will also see that. Mm-hmm. And it is a bummer. I don't really get that shit. My Catholic friends, I don't see that. Mm-hmm. I see it being kind of an equal thing across the board. And whether it's like ignoring them or doting on them.
Yeah.
So I guess I just don't know. I didn't know that was a Catholic thing. But yeah, that's a bummer because firstborns are most likely to fuck up. That can't be right. But
I don't think she says it's a Catholic thing. I think she's just saying it's a big family thing. Like if you have multiple siblings.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I just don't think you should say anything. I think that's up to eventually the younger kids are going to go to therapy and they're going to have the courage call their parents fuckers in front of them at Thanksgiving, and you might get to be there front row seat. And so that's going to be awesome.
Well, I'm also curious. So these are your in-laws. Do you talk to your partner about this? Like, does your partner notice it? Would your partner feel comfortable speaking to these people since those are like his direct family? Just a thought. How about, she asked you, was this on your mind when you were raising your kids?
No, I only had 2 kids, and it was, I mean, maybe they would disagree. There's a chance my son disagrees with this, but I did everything under my power to make sure it was equal. The only problem was he left the house first. And so then I was just with my daughter for the 4 years that he was out of the house. And so it probably felt like she was getting a lot more attention, but that's only because he didn't live there and she did. I mean, that's like, you can't do anything about that.
Right.
But I would always try to make sure he felt seen and heard. And, he had something going on. I remember in college that he needed some help with, and he called me and he's like, if you could come up in the next couple of weeks. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm already in the car. So you're talking to me as I'm traveling to you right now. So, I tried to make it equal. It's hard, but you can definitely notice that you're giving 1 out of 4 kids all of the attention versus, I mean, they should be passing it out. Is the kid super good at sports? Are they nervous he's leaving? And when he leaves, does the 16-year-old become the king? And then when the 16-year-old leaves the house, does the 13-year-old become the king and the 9? And is that how that family does it? I don't know, but I just think it's weird to give one kid all the attention, because I think that's the Menendez brothers.
Yeah. Thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thank you, MD.
Keep us posted if you do say something to your partner. And I really like your idea of like her being a super aunt and just showing, like, leading by example. Okay, this next one is titled Comedy Questions. They say, hey guys, got a comedy question. If you guys wouldn't mind clearing the air, what does getting past mean? I hear it all the time with comedy podcasts. You always hear, I got past to the cellar, etc. Is it good, bad, or are there any other comedian nomenclature that those of us too chicken shit to go up or too lazy to look it up should know? Thanks. Your friendly San Diego plumber. I'm sorry, SD plumber. Maybe that's South Dakota. I don't know. And it says Ryan. I think I can say your name.
Yep, it's typed.
Okay. Thanks for asking this. That is a good question. I forget that most people probably wouldn't know what that means. So to get past means that you are like one of the official paid performers. Like, you are allowed to submit submit your avails. Like every week that you're available to perform there, you submit what days you are looking to get spots on, and then you wait back and see. Wait to hear back. What am I saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anything to add to that?
No, that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a good thing. It is a good thing to be passed at clubs.
Passed over, not great.
Not so much. Oh my gosh, Mia's doing the weirdest thing right now. Okay. So this is a sweet little follow-up to the Babies and Grinders, not to be confused with Baby Grinders email.
Oh, yeah, right.
From Sierra. It says, Chad and Kelsey, thank you so much for responding to me. The amount of excitement I felt when I heard Babies and Grinders being sung by Chad is maybe embarrassing to admit. I just adore you two and truly appreciate your thoughtful input. Sometimes having an outside perspective makes my gut feeling, which is being happy right now and just living life until that's not the case, feel more acceptable. If you don't remember, she wrote in feeling unsure of if she and her partner need to have kids right now or not.
Because everyone around them seems to be having kids.
Yes.
All their friends.
Yes. To answer Chad's questions, I died laughing. Get it? Garbage babies. At what I am assuming he is referring to as the divisive joke. The whole hour was absolutely fantastic. I'm the fun one who brought a friend, aka my husband, who I've also hooked on the podcast. I almost brought a grinder with me to the show, but I worried about 1, unavoidable sogginess, and 2, that Chad would think I was a creepy weirdo if he hadn't read the email. I feel even worse now knowing poor Chad was hungry because of his Uber Eats fiasco. At the end, as we made our way out of the theater, being at the edge seats, we were at the front of the line and Chad wasn't at the merch table yet. Feeling like a herd of sheep in my panic of how the hell do we stop now, we ended up leaving the theater. We immediately knew it was the wrong choice once getting outside, yet felt too awkward to go back in. This will undoubtedly be one of my biggest regrets of my life. Am I dramatic? I don't think so. Anyways, next time he performs anywhere near Grand Forks, I will wait as long as I need to meet him and promise to have a red pepper bag with me. On another note, I meant to add this to my initial email, but really love hearing about both of you being sober. I stopped drinking in November, and it's really cool to hear about others who are also exploring sobriety. If you're looking for sober content, I love the Happiest Sober podcast. Chad will tear her apart, especially her mom with a very soft voice, LOL. But Kelsey, I think you'd enjoy her content. Okay, now I'm rambling. Again, just love you too. Thank you. Oh, man. Thank you for being you and bringing light to so many people's lives with both your comedy and podcast. Take care, Sierra. Oh, Sierra, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And next time, make sure you stick around. That'd be very nice. And for those of you that just heard that tone and Kelsey's voice to Mia, just know that was from before. This has nothing to do with Mia.
Patreon. I felt like that happened at the Wilbur Theater in Boston, and I was so bummed. There was a security guard who, like, the second the show let out, was like, "All right, everybody outside, exit this way, outside." And I was like, bro, I just shipped so many boxes of merch here, and I like just told everybody on stage, hey, I'm going to be in the lobby selling merch, come say hi. And he was like putting the fear of God in people if they dare waited in the lobby and I was like, we had to say something to him like, hey, you got to stop yelling at people to get out. And
wasn't it even a side door that he was like,
yes.
So they didn't even go by the merch table? Yeah, that's what
it was such a bummer. So anyway, if you're one of those people in Boston, I'm sorry. It makes me sad because that would have been nice. But anyway, and yeah, Chad and I are both 2 weeks away from a year of sobriety.
Yeah. I'm going back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mesquite, Nevada, Wolf Creek Golf Course is where I decided to never drink again because I just, for several reasons, none of them being hitting a building with a car or hitting a person with my fist. But, and I'll go back there. And so we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah. I can't remember if we talked about it. We must have a little bit that we went to the simulator.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I have gotten to see this course and I had said, just doing the simulator version is going to make me start drinking again. So it's not for the faint of heart. It's a very mentally, emotionally challenging
But I think it's going to be really fun. And again, this will be the first time that I haven't drank on this trip. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear about it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Maybe you'll hear about it in a drunken stupor over the phone.
Hey, sorry I didn't make it to a year. But free drinks when you're winning at the blackjack table.
Who is this?
That's a guy he's in Mesquite on his way to California to find gold. Hey, y'all, I'm in Mesquite, Nevada, and I'm on my way to find some gold out in California.
That's very funny. It sounds a little like, I think is it Will Arnett? Who's the guy in that basketball commercial right now where Charles Barkley goes back in time with Sam Jackson?
Oh, you're thinking of the guy...
Will Forte.
Yeah. But I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's so funny. He goes, fiddlesticks. And it just, everything he says is exactly the way you just said it. It was very funny. Okay, guys. What a fucking journey it's been.
Well, have we done enough time?
Yeah.
If we cut the stuff?
I think so. I mean, do I have... Okay, we'll do one more.
I think we should.
Okay, we'll do one more just in case. This is titled Planes, Trains, or Automobiles to Milwaukee. Hi, Kelsey and Chad. I'm curious about comics road logistics when your destination city isn't all that far away, such as Kelsey's next road stop of Milwaukee. Flying there from the Twin Cities seems like overkill to me as the plane barely finishes rising before it's time to descend again. You spend more time in the airport than in the air. Driving there would take He says, checks Apple Maps. 4 hours and 45 minutes. Or also there are options to go by train. Is it still plain all the way, or do you use one of the other options? Best, Steve Manfred. Steve has written in before. Thanks, Steve. This is a very personal preference thing. Mm-hmm. I am a plain almost every time sort of person. Anything more than, I'm going to say 2 to 3 hours, I would rather just fly. And Chad's a little different, I think.
No, I have a limit. I maybe would drive to Madison, but that would put me at my fucking breaking point.
And how far away is that?
Probably 4. I mean, he said 4.5 to Milwaukee. Yeah. It's got to be under that, 45 minutes under that. But still, I drove to the airport 3 hours and then home 3 hours for so long.
Yeah.
And before that, I would even drive to Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas. I would drive everywhere in my car, and I just don't have it in me anymore. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I fly almost always, and I'm okay with that. Hey, you guys, we reached our cruising altitude of 15,000 feet. We are also on our descent. Yeah. I'm okay with that speech.
Yeah, I think for me, what's helpful is that there are a bunch of different things happening. And I mean, that's also exhausting in a way. I know that with a car ride, it's like you get in and you just go. But that makes me super stir crazy. Yeah. I like that. Even if it's a short flight, it's like you're in the airport and then you're on the plane and you're in the airport again. I don't know. I don't like a long drive.
You just never know who you're going to get stuck behind. Yeah. For me, it's just better for everybody.
Yeah.
I would take a train if I could pack all my stuff in a little checkered
knapsack.
Yeah, like something like that, and then tie it to a stick. And then hop on with nobody else, or maybe somebody else, another vagrant. Traveling the same way I want to travel. And then we'd talk, and then they'd go, you got to pay the train tax. I'd be like, well, what?
I'm going to California to find gold.
Yeah, you have no idea what I'm about to do. So, might be some forced oral sex on the train, but,
oh my God.
Then I'd have something to talk about in Milwaukee.
Oh, gross. For somebody who thinks cold hot dogs are gross.
Yeah, but free trip.
Yeah. Just sitting also, I think the Oura Ring has made me very aware. It will like give me notifications sometimes where it's like, time to stretch your legs for a little bit. I think I've become more aware of like blood flow and wanting to have more movement in my day. And when you're in a car, you're just like sitting that entire time. If it's a short flight, you're like not staying for that long. Anyway, these are just the things I think about.
What's made me aware of blood flow is playing trivia with her. Lots of blood flowing then, and I think we know what I'm talking about. Hey, everybody, go over to Patreon and see our discussion.
Bye, guys.